The MMDA claims the strike staged by PISTON did not have much effect on public transport in Metro Manila. It may have also failed to persuade the public and other transport groups to support their stand against transport modernization.
It appears to be desperate times for members of the transport group called PISTON or Pagkakaisa ng mga Samahan ng Tsuper at operator nationwide. The group again staged a transport strike in Metro Manila to protest against the mandate for all jeepney drivers and operators to consolidate franchises under a corporation or cooperative as part of the government's PUV Modernization Program. The deadline for consolidation, December 31, 2023, is fast approaching. Those who have not yet complied with the consolidation mandate fear that they would lose their franchises and livelihood past the deadline. Transport authorities have warned that failure to consolidate and begin the process of shifting to operate using jeepneys that meet modern standards set by government would mean cancellation of franchises. The latest transport strike is meant to show that public transport in Metro Manila would be paralyzed or severely hampered if jeepney drivers stop plying their routes. It is also meant to air grievances against the PUV Modernization Program and calling for abolition of the consolidation requirement as well as proposed amendments to the Omnibus Franchising Guidelines. The entire grievances boil down to, as viewed by PISTON members, the shift to modern jeepneys as being anti-poor. Even with all financing incentives provided by government, acquiring modern jeepneys to replace aging traditional jeepneys was unaffordable to the ordinary operator, especially individual franchise holders. However, government authorities have learned to deal with and have been successful at minimizing effects to paralyzed transport in Metro Manila. Metropolitan Manila Development Authority Chairman Don Artes claimed the first day of the three-day transport strike called by PISTON failed to affect public transport much. Artes said whatever problems faced by commuters in some areas of the metro may have been the result of the usual morning rush hour traffic. He added that only a few buses and other vehicles they pre-positioned at strategic routes to provide free rides to stranded commuters were actually used. Artes indicated the transport strike was not supported by many jeepney drivers themselves who continued to ply their routes, and only 66 of the 686 vehicles they prepared for free rides were used for the first. The MMDA's chief observation confirmed what Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board Chairman Teofilo Guadis III said during the eve of the strike. Guadis said major transport groups in the country expressed commitment not to support the strike. This statement can also be understood to mean that major transport groups support the PUV Modernization Program.
Modernization looks to be inevitable as a lot of the big transport groups are learning to benefit from financial and other incentives from the program. Transport authorities and the MMDA have also learned how to blunt effects of Tigil Pasada demonstrations. That's our morning forum this week, courtesy of Suzuki Philippines.